welcome to this episode. Today I will speak to you about the genetics behind Gothra. Before I start, let me reiterate, as I said earlier, whatever knowledge that I have is something which I am taking from my two hands from a large ocean. Gothra and genetics. In the 1860s, a German tax collector wanted a dog which will be very ferocious, at the same time it will respond to a one master's command. He crossed a very ferocious dog with one which can be tamed by a single master. He got a species known as Doberman. And when two Doberman are crossed, they give birth to another Doberman. The tax collector's name was Doberman, and this breed is being known as a Doberman. Similarly, the British wanted a dog which will take care of their sheep, and at the same time it has to respond to a whistle. They wanted a dog which had a very good sense of hearing and a dog which can run faster than the sheep. They got two different breeds together, and then the German Shepherd was born. After the World War, they did remove the name of German Shepherd. They called it an Alsatian. Similarly, if you see in horse racing throughout the world, they race with a horse breed which is known as thoroughbred. Thoroughbred is two different breeds together. One is an Arabian stallion. The Arabian stallion are well known for their stamina. They are small and they can go for days without water. The British mare, that is the female, it is a sturdy horse which is known for its speed. When they mated these two, they got the thoroughbred. Even today, they follow the same process. Two thoroughbreds, when they are mated, they give birth to another thoroughbred. Depending on whether they want speed or they want stamina, accordingly what they call as a dosage index, accordingly they breed these horses. This, which was known to modern society after the 1760s, was mastered by ancient India. Our Indian ox, if you see, which has that hum, has been the same for centuries together. They knew how to use genetics to breed. Bullfighting, they used a breed called Kangayam. If it was to do with tilting soil for agriculture, they used a breed called Mysore Malayan. There are so many different breeds which are for different purposes, and the ancient Indians mastered this art. Gothra also means a cowshed. They realized this genetics works for humans also. Accordingly, what they had was what is known as exogamous and endogamous. Exogamous means a relationship where they do not allow you to breed within a circle. In India too, same Gothra marriage, even same Parvara marriages are not allowed. They knew that you need fresh blood to come into your genetics. That will give you a very strong and disease-free society. They also understood this will also create a social harmony. As I said, each Gothra has a skill set. So they understood that, by bringing in two different skill sets, they will be able to create a social harmony. This social harmony was very important because they needed skill sets which will complement each other. The marriages of Gothra, they were taken in such a way it was also endogamous. Endogamous means within one circle only they will marry. This eventually led to the caste system, but in the beginning, when kingdoms were expanding, when they were looking at new areas, it helped. It helped in taking two different skill sets, two different technologies to come together and create a society. If you see, a lot of these temples, all of these things need a lot of other artisans to work together. Weavers, potters, everybody need to work to create a civilization. This Gothra system worked very well to create a social harmony between groups. By way of securing alliances and marriages, they were able to have a closely bonded society. If you see, a lot of in North India as well as in South India, you will see that a lot of people are affiliated to what they call as Koladevam or Kuladeva. They are affiliated to one particular temple. This is across all castes. They would be affiliated to the same temple. This Gothra system led to this society known as Kola. What is Kula? Kula is basically a guild. It's a guild of people with various skill sets coming together, affiliating themselves to a territory or to a temple or a mutt, and working together to create a better society. By using the genetics, by mastering genetics, they were able to create society which was very, very strong. I will talk about all the Kula and how the society came from Kula to Ghana. All those things I will talk in a separate episode. Now we can make out that our society was a strong society, a closely bonded society, and Gothra played a major role. Also, you can understand every Gothra has a special skill set. That skill set, the beauty about genetics is it always goes forward. Whether it is race horses, they don't, once the thoroughbred is done, it does not go back to an Arabian stallion or it does not go back to a British mare. Similarly, a Doberman does not go back to a ferocious dog. It stays as a Doberman. And it goes forward. Similarly, our Gothra, our traits, what we are carrying today, from the time of our forefathers, have been in the same path. If you specifically see, if you try to analyze certain Gothra, you will come to know that they had some special skill sets. Today in that same path, I would like to go and talk to you about Bharatwaj Gothra. Some call it Bharatwaj, Bharadwaj. They are spread all over the country, all across various castes. The Bharathwaj lineage starts with sage Angirasa, Brahaspati and Bharatwaj. These are the three Traya Rishi for them. Bharatwaj Gothra is named after sage Bharatwaj. Bharatwaj was the son of Brahaspati. He was an illicit. He was born out of an illicit relationship. He was left on the banks of river Ganga. The Marudaganas, celestial beings, saw him and they asked King Bharata to adopt him. From the time he was born, he was a person who was thirsty for knowledge. He was always pursuing knowledge. King Bharata adopted him. When King Bharata died, his son Bhimanyu was very young. At that time, sage Bharatwaj, he ruled on his behalf. He married a Kshatriya princess by the name of Sushila. A son by the name of Garga was born. There is a Gothra also called as Garga Gothra. Also, he had a daughter, Katyayani, who was married to a sage called Yajnavalkya, who was a sage beyond his times. He was also the father of Dronacharya, to whom he taught about making weapons. With Dronacharya, the skill set of weapons ended with him after the Mahabharata war. Sage Bharatwaj also wrote about the Sraura Sutra, Graha Sutra, but he was an expert in Vimana Sutra. Vimana Sutra, they say, is also talking about how they were earlier ancient Indians used to fly, but there is nothing very concrete about it. But however, if you see, he has written a lot about the atmosphere. He has spoken how he has divided the atmosphere into several layers. He has told each layer what is the amount of wind power which is there. Sage Bharatwaj wanted a long life. He prayed to Lord Indra. When Indra asked him what is that he wanted, he said he wanted a long life so that he can master the Vedas. He was given 100 years. At the end, he wanted another 100 years. Indra gave him another 100 years. Then he wanted another 100 years. Lord Indra gave him another 100 years. Then he was still sad. So Lord Indra himself came this time and asked him, why are you sad? He said, I wanted to master the Vedas, but I don't have enough time. My lifetime may get over any time. So Lord Indra took him and showed him 3 mountains and said, this is the Vedas. And then he picked up with his hands and gave him 3 molds and said, this is what you have learnt. The knowledge which you have not learnt is too big. So he said, what you want to do, which will make you happy. He said, I want to relieve people of their suffering from various diseases. So Indra taught him about the medicinal qualities. Some say it is Ayurveda, but he taught him what has to be done to help people come out of their diseases. Sage Bharatwaj, if you see, after that went on, he had come as far as Kalasti, a temple in South India, where he had meditated. Several temples in India, if you see, which have a temple tank, have something to do or the other with the Bharadwaj Gothra. It would be in the form of mythology, it would be in the form of an inscription, but somewhere you will see that there is something to do with Bharatwaj Gothra. And you will also see in these sacred temples that they will have a Vimana. Sometimes it will have 5 towers, sometimes it will have 2, and sometimes the ray of light which matters. You can make out that someone who wanted to help people who are suffering from diseases, to get rid of them, was able to use the technology in such a way that he could harness the power of the sun, the wind and water. These 3 are the main sources through which diseases spread. He was able to understand that prevention was better than cure. The Galtaj temple in Jaipur, Trikambeshwar temple in Orissa, the Nayanath temple in Bihar, Vaidishwaran temple in Tamilnadu, Melkote temple in Karnataka. There are so many temples which have something to do with Bharatwaj Gothra. These temples have identical architecture. There are minor differences, but the majority is the same. If you see the pictures, you will notice that they have something like what is known as mandaps or mandapam on the banks of the tank. These mandaps act as an infirmary, as a hospital. They are able to, treat patients. In case there's a disease outbreak, they were able to quarantine them. In case of war, they are able to attend to wounded soldiers. This speciality is there in Bharatwaja Gothram. If genetics are true and it is carried forward for several generations, then you will see, even today, they may have the power. The Bharatwaj Gothra may have the power to harness this. This is the strength of that Gothra. Today, I may be wrong as far as how far the genetics have come. But certainly, whoever is in Bharatwaj Gothra, I would suggest first you read all that which has been written by your Traya Rishi. One needs to understand the path at which we have come, the dharma. The path at which we have come into this world is very special. And you start with the roots. So, in the next episode, I will talk more about other Gothras. The previous episode, I spoke to you about what is the magnanimity of our country, how a person who plundered and looted was worshipped. This happened in a town called Rishi, which is about 350 kilometers from Chennai, a place called Srirangam. Here, the deity is Lord Ranganatha. Malik Kafir was a person who was a slave to Alauddin Khilji, who was ruling India at that time, in the 1300s. He was a tyrant, a ruthless chieftain, who went on a campaign plundering and looting temples. He came as far as south. He looted all the temples on the way. He discredited all the images. He believed that as per Islam, you cannot worship idols. So he went breaking idols. He took away all the wealth, and anyone who resisted, he murdered them. When the town of Srirangam heard that he is coming to that, they immediately wanted to protect their temple from being ransacked and plundered by him. They put up a brave fight, but they couldn't. Then they realized they were going to lose. The chief priest immediately hid the idol of Lord Ranganagi, the consort of Lord Ranganatha, under a neem tree. By the time he could hide the idol of Lord Ranganatha, the troops of Malik Kafir had come in. They murdered the priest, they took away the idol, and they went back all the way to Delhi. There he gave that idol as a present to his daughter. His daughter's name is Sutrani. The daughter fell in love with that idol. She worshipped that idol, she played with that idol, she garlanded, she even fed him, she dressed him. It was like she was with the idol always. The people of Srirangam wanted their idol back. So one group of people said they will go all the way to Delhi and somehow convince him and get that idol back for worship. When they went there, they went as performers. They performed various arts, impressed Malik Kafir. And when he asked what they wanted, they said they wanted that idol. When Sutrani was sleeping, he gave them the idol and they came back. When she woke up and she realized the idol was not there, she immediately started following them. The group immediately split up, thinking that the entire army is going to come behind them. After that, nothing was known about what happened to that group. Sutrani reached Srirangam. There she saw the idol was not there. She was heartbroken. Some say she committed suicide, some say she died of heartbreak. She died at the footsteps of the temple. After 60 years, a group of people who were in a forest, suddenly a person who was an unkept man, a very unclean man, came in and poured water over a heap of mud. And in that they saw that idol and they brought that idol back. The same night, the priest who was there at that time, he had a dream where the Lord Ranganatha told him that he has come back and his consort is under the neem tree. He also said that Sutrani who died, he has taken her as a consort. Since she was with him always, she took care of him in Delhi. He was pleased with her bhakti and took her as his own consort and asked his generations to pray to her also, to give her an equal status as his consort. Till today, Tulka Nachiyar, Sutrani is now known as Tulka Nachiyar, is worshipped in the temple. There is no idol there in that temple. They have a portrait which is made of gold and they worship till date. This is the magnanimity of this country. One dream is all it took to forgive all the actions of Malik Kafir and pray to his own daughter. Someone who plundered, looted, murdered. He murdered not less than 13,000 Vaishnavites who resisted. The entire river Kaveri, it was said, was running in red color by blood. Still, the future generation, till date, they worship her. Even the prasad they offer to her is made of wheat roti. That is the magnanimity. That's what makes this country a Punya Bhumi. All the bad deeds are forgotten. A good deed stands forever. That is the philosophy of our Punya Bhumi. My next episode, I will also talk how this Punya Bhumi uphold or taught the world what Kshatriya Dharma is. This was not even in ancient times. It was as recent as the Kargil war. I will show how the Kshatriya Dharma was displayed by the Indian army in my next episode. Thank you for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Kindly follow us on Twitter and Facebook and also subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much.